I think our previous topic on formulation, right? So from here we'll continue. As a part of our formulation, that is making of our strategy, first we start with vision. What did I say about vision? It's a foresightedness. What you want your company to be is called as vision. Or it's a statement of future. It articulates the basic characteristics that shapes the organizational strategy. It tells you where you want to go and it tells you what it intends to be, ante what it want to be tomorrow. That is what we call it as vision. Why vision is important? Because it is providing you the direction, it helps you to change, it helps to steer the company, and it is like a steering which makes you to go in a proper direction. It increases creativity and finally it promotes the entrepreneurship. So, what is a vision? What is the importance of vision? I think this was asked for 4 marks earlier, right? In 2016 syllabus, their vision and mission both. So, here even if you say simply foresightedness also is right, or a statement of future, or the one which articulates and which focuses on the basic characteristics that shapes the organizational future also is correct. It tells you where you want to go and what you want to be, also is correct. We call it as vision. Now I have given few examples here which I picked up from your material only again. Let me tell you students, making a vision is an art, and companies spread crores and crores of rupees just for the people or a consultant who makes a vision and mission statement. Now you may say, what is there, sir? Even we can write. You also can write, but there are certain conditions for writing the vision statement and mission statement. Why? It's an art and science. All that you have to describe only in 14 words. 14 words. It should not be more than 14 words. That is what some of the philosophers says. But some of this vision, if there are pages and all, people will never even read about it. They should not be descriptive. They should be very short. They should be very sweet. And it should cover the entire theme, meaning, intention, everything it should communicate. See, just by reading that sentence, it should be a replica of what the company is, what is its main focus, what are its action plan. Nike as a brand, have you seen? They make what? Shoe. Basically, they focus on athlete shoe. Initially their focus was on athletes. Then again, as a part of diversification, they went all with different brands. See what is their punchline? It says to bring innovation and inspiration to every athlete in the world. Scotland Yards, you would have not seen. Dabur honey. What is the main focus? Health and well-being of everyone. Infosys, IT company. It leverages or gives a solutions to your businesses, and that also should be delivered best in class people. Amazon, online buying, e-commerce. Facebook, related relationships, connections. GE, power. Tesla, you would have not heard about. They are about sustainable energy. Walmart, retail. Right? So the concept you would have seen. The name, the brand itself is reflecting its features. So whenever you are trying to make, here what they'll do, students, when we are trying to craft the concept of a vision, it should reflect the company, its core missions, values, product, processes, all that should be described only in 14 words. Very short. So that is where it becomes an art. So what example in just either a direct question, he'll ask you to create a vision and mission statement for a company where he'll give a small description. It's a shoe manufacturing company, right? Which has so many customer base. they have a product which is made for athletes. ఇప్పుడు ఇందాక నైక్ అన్నాం కదా, అలా he may say some shoes he makes for diabetic patients. So what you should do, you should pick up all those important ingredients and you should make a vision. And if you are making descriptive lengthy, it is understood that you don't know anything. Because what should a vision include? It should provide a direction, need for a change, steer the company, increase creativity, promote entrepreneurship. All these features should get reflected in that sentences. You have to show your creativity there. What are the benefits of a vision? Here, they inspire and they are exhilarating, means they are trying to motivate you, stimulate you, represent a discontinuity, a step function and jumps ahead so that the company knows what it wants to be. It helps to create a common identity and helps in shared sense of purpose. They are competitive, they should be original, they should be unique, and it should foster the risk taking and experimentation. It should foster the long term thinking process. It should reflect that integrity. They should be customer oriented, and internal stakeholders ante employees also should be a part of defining the vision, and it should align with the firm's vision statement. So it should be aligned with organizational structure. Organizational structure should be aligned with the vision statement. Ante vision should be fitted with organizational structure. What is structure? Maybe in our next class topic we'll be talking about. So these are all few benefits of a vision which Azhar in 2008 has given. After the vision, next is mission. A simple way to define mission is action plan to achieve vision, or enduring objective of an organization that sets it apart from the other organization of similar nature. Ante they are making you different from other executions. That is what mission means. What should it include? Mission will always include the products and services what the company is offering, what technology they are using, type of the markets they are serving, the requirements and wants of the customer, and very importantly the distinctive competence. Distinctive competence and differentiation, how the fellows are different from others. See, simply a mission statement promotes a sense of shared expectations in employees and communicates the public image to important stakeholder groups in the company task environment. So generally when we say mission, this will be of two types of mission, students. One is product oriented, the other is customer oriented. Product oriented lo it talks more about product features. Customer oriented lo it talks more about the need satisfaction, wants, expectations of the customer, right? So you would have seen the mission statements. Again, this I picked up from your material only. Alibaba, you know who is this Alibaba? Not Alibaba Nalvai Dongaldu kaadu. E-commerce wholesaler, right? So to make it easy to do business anywhere, that is his mission, right? Bazi.com, have you heard about? Okay, that fellow Olex, what does he do? Second hand items he connects, customer to customer, C2C. So see here, Google, when we say, it talks more about giving and disseminating of information. See, like this, the concept of mission statement should reflect their action plan, right? Domino's, if the pizza is not delivered in 30 minutes, it is free. So they make it as a mission, right? 100% customer satisfaction, 100% placements. Koni institutes pedtayi kada, placement guaranteed programs. Mission. Chips kuda na? Okay. So students, either vision or mission. Definition అయితే పక్కా నేర్చుకోవాలి. See, and these are all the features what you need to remember. And not the examples. Examples was only to explain you the concept. Either you get a direct question from here, or he'll give a small paragraph. He'll ask you to make vision and mission. See, I'll give you some tips. You write down. Vision ఎప్పుడైతే ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తున్నామో వాట్ యూ షుడ్ డూ, సమ్ వర్డ్స్ రెడీమేడ్గా ఉండాలి మన దగ్గర. సో వాట్ విల్ డూ, విజన్, మిషన్. there will be certain common words. Common words like you can use in both contexts. One is customer satisfaction. Customer enduku stakeholders anna, so that it is more stakeholder satisfaction. All are included. Okay, you can use appropriately. Second, quality. ఒకవేళ అది ప్రోడక్ట్ కంపెనీ ఉంటేనేమో క్వాలిటీ ఇన్ ద ప్రోడక్ట్, సర్వీస్ కంపెనీ అయితేనేమో క్వాలిటీ ఇన్ సర్వీస్, రైట్? దెన్ వాల్యూ ఫర్ మనీ, వాల్యూ ఓరియంటేషన్ can be used commonly for both, right? Then continuity, ante it talks about long term commitment, long term attachment, long term commitment, caring. danne manamu we use a word empathy. And what is empathy? Understanding from others angle. Sympathy, showing concern. Okay, so and information updation, flexibility, robustness, అండ్ ఒకవేళ వాడు ఎనీ హెల్త్ రిలేటెడ్ ప్రోడక్ట్స్ ఇచ్చాడనుకోండి, హైజెనిక్. అండ్ డిస్టింక్టివ్నెస్, differentiation, distinctiveness, and of course cost leadership also you can take. And I have given only few of them. Of course this will be helpful for exam. Inka konni raskondi. Ekkadi nunchi rastaru? If possible, after going back home, top brands evaithe untayo, pick up anything, some products, some services, top notch companies, Reliance Industry anukondi, whatever you wanted to, like Wipro, Infosys, different categories lo. Just read their vision statement, mission statement. Common general word undali. That general words you add few more to the list. So once you are familiar with such words, ready made, done you can write. Understood? This when he gives a small case study. And students, if you are familiar with these words, what will happen? The moment you see there, immediately it will strike your mind. Yes, I should make use of this word. And understood? So world class presence everywhere again is one word, right? So today these are all the dimensions. I'm pretty sure మీరు ఏదన్నా చూడండి, ఈ వర్డ్స్ ఎక్కడో ఒక చోట కనిపిస్తుంటాయి అవి. Understood? So they'll just see how far you are able to understand the concept, reproduce the concept. That is where the real challenge lies in. Next, here it's very simple, students. First of all, what is culture? Organizational culture. I'll define it in a very simple terms. Shared norms, values, beliefs by majority of organizational members. You can write it down. Organizational culture. Organizational culture is shared. Sharing kuda anochu, shared norms, values, assumptions, and beliefs by majority of the organizational members. Okay. What do you mean by organizational culture? How do you gauge the culture? See, the culture is reflected by four levels. See here, they are called as layers of culture. There are different layers of culture. ఇది కూడా 4 marks question చూడండి. Definition వస్తే by default ఇది కూడా వస్తుంది. First level is paradigm, or you can call it as taken for granted assumptions. What does it mean? Certain assumptions. The students are lazy. It is just an assumption. It can be true, it can be false also. So assumptions, all students are lazy అనేది ఒక assumption అదంతే. It can be true, it cannot be true. So that's the first level in culture. Second level, behavior. Based on that assumption, students act and react like that. What is a behavior? The actions. The next one, belief. Students, the third level is called as belief. Assumptions are leading to behavior. Behavior is leading to beliefs that will lead to value. The moment students understand this, the concept, the importance what he gives, is called as belief. And finally the marks what he score, it could be good or bad, failure or pass, is nothing but it's a value system. So what is happening? The concept of culture forms in multifaceted level, ante multiple level. It starts with assumptions. Assumptions will become behavior, behavior will become belief, belief will become value system. Or it can be multi-dimensional also, ante two-dimensional also. Value system will become belief. The student wants to pass, get a gold medal, that is his values. That can transform into belief. Do or die, but I have to get. That will become behavior. Ante that you will find the changes in the behavior. The fellow who wants gold medal, day in day out he'll study, he'll become more serious, and finally that will lead to the paradigm. Ante the way they take it for granted. Ante I want to achieve that, that's it. So cultural formation can happen both ways. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చెప్పానంటే షేర్డ్ నార్మ్స్, వాల్యూస్, బిలీఫ్స్ by majority of the organizational members, I call it as culture. Students, the culture can be of different types. Strong culture, weak culture, the third one, dominant culture. Strong culture, the class starts at 9:30 sharp, everyone is in the class. Strong culture, everybody shares the norm, same value, same assumptions, same belief. Strong culture. Weak culture, the class starts at 9:30, fellow will come at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, he doesn't come. Weak culture. Dominant culture, 9:30 and a sharp 9:30 all are in. But for these two we said same meaning only. Dominant also 9:30, strong also 9:30. What is the difference then? Here they come by willingness, by heart. Here they come by fear. Understood? Dominant culture, fear, threat, are వాళ్ళు ఏమనుకుంటారో. With that cert, it is dominant culture. And something is creating you to behave in such manner. Strong culture is a superior culture of all. That by default, there will be no one to monitor, no one to check. A simple example. Internal exams. You can write anywhere. Of course, Some of them is again a dominant culture, just to please parents, just to please teacher, just to do that. Some of us are doing, not all of them. But strong culture will always give you a good results. Willingness, even if somebody opens up the answer on the screen, you'll not see. Strong culture. Because that heart says, don't do it, and people stick back to it. Today, this concept is getting a lot of prominence, students. Let me tell you, value, culture, ivanni kuda. Endukante the company spends a lot of money to build up that culture. Why? The culture is a tangible, there are tangible and intangible factors also, which represents the identity of the company. Are what argue chestadu ante valla family is like that, we say, you know, that roots back to the family, that roots back to the education system. Like, what are we trying to do? Just by tangible and intangible items, you know, we are trying to grade them about their culture. So company today, even if they want to prosper, you know, this becomes one of the element, one of the important ingredient. So ikkada you have only the basic to understand the meaning, types and 4 layers of culture. Words నేర్చుకుంటే చాలు. 1 mark, maximum 4 from the topic, otherwise nothing. The next word is organizational genome. Here only 1 mark. Organization behavior, only 1 mark. Definitions are no marks. First of all, what are genomes? Genomes are we generally called as genes, right? Biological factors which are inherited. Now, for example, when we talk about personality, what is personality? A uniqueness of an individual, right? How you interact and react with the world, that describes your personality. How the personality forms? Personality forms 2 ways. One is by nature, the other is by nurture. By nature, genetical code, your father, mother features you will get. That comes by genes, hereditary characteristics. Charles Darwin theory, X chromosomes, Y chromosomes from your father, mother, genetical formation by nature, biological syndrome. By nurture, the way you are being brought up, the way you are being nurtured, the way you are being brought up in the school or maybe the surrounding with the friends group, nurturing, ante the way people are being brought up, that decides the concept of nurturing formation of personality. So here genomics ante enti? It's a study of all the person genes, including how they interact, including the interactions of those genes with each other and with the person's environment. Ante why are we studying about genomic study here is, as a strategist in the organization, your job is not isolation, it is in combination. How you are interacting and reacting with everyone. The role of a strategist here is called as boundary spanner. Ee word kuda నేర్చుకోండి. This is very, very important word. I have written it as a note. Manager play a role of boundary spanner since he interacts with many individuals and need to be aware about organizational behavior. Right? Boundary spanner role. This sentence is important, student. Manager plays a role of a boundary spanner because he is the one, he need to know about how people are interacting with each other and how people are reacting with each other and how he should respond to it, right? So that study calls for understanding the genomic code of an individual. What is organizational behavior? Ikkada I'll give you a very simple definition, you can take that. OB, organization behavior, in short is called as OB. OB is a systematic study, of actions and attitudes. Actions and attitudes what people exhibit in the organization. What people exhibit in the organization. I'll repeat. OB is a systematic study of actions and attitudes what people exhibit in the organization. What people exhibit in the organization. Understood? See, why this behavioral studies are important. Like tomorrow when you work in the organization, first of all I said as a part of your genomic organizational genome, there are three things which talks about this organizational behavior. What are the main aims of organizational behavior? Main aim of OB are, there are three. First, it should help you to predict the behavior. It should help to influence the behavior. And third, it should help you to control the behavior. Why are we studying about actions and attitudes of the people? Because, first of all, if I say this word, what will happen? It will break. It will break your hearts, right? And if it is a wrong word, it will break my teeth and my bones also. Right? So, the concept of breakages, you should be able to guess in advance. If I say this, will he cry or will he laugh? You should be able to predict well in advance. So that is the reason we study organization behavior. You should be able to influence. Ante, there should be certain action and reaction in the individual. Influence is making some changes in others' environment. Either to, the moment I said it's important, note down, you'll start noting down. I'm able to influence well. May come or may not come. ఆ పెన్నుని ఇక్కడ పక్క కూడా కదపరు. మే నాట్ అన్నాడు కదా, ఇంకెందుకు వేస్ట్, విల్ నాట్ ఈవెన్ రైట్. కంట్రోల్, effective monitoring, supervising, making sure that the things happen whatever I wish. Control antam danne. What is control? Equalizing your expectations and actuals. Whatever I thought, if things are happening, we call it as control. ఇది నేర్చుకోండి, మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ అవుతుంది చూడండి. కంట్రోల్ ఈజ్ జస్ట్ ది ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ ఈక్వలైజింగ్ యువర్ expectations and actuals. Next time I'll not tell you this definition. Control is the process of equalizing your expectations and actuals. Last unit lo we'll talk about it again. 10th unit lo. Okay. So what are the three things now? Objectives of OB: predicting, influencing, controlling. Why is it required? Because manager play a role of boundary spanner. Boundary spanner ante vaade boundary vesevadu. If I don't want to interact with anyone, I fight with everyone. Then there'll be no friends, you'll be in isolation forever. Or you want to make your business successfully, supplier relationship management, customer relationship management, the healthy relationship management we say, CRM, right? Healthy customer relations. So here, he's a boundary spanner, ante he is the one who lays a boundary wall for your organization. Be it for prospering or to become a disaster. Andike we use a word called boundary spanner. That word is important. Next word is about strategic leadership. వాడికి అసలు బుద్ధి లేదు. ఒక్కొక్క వర్డ్ ఇలా గార్నిష్ చేసినట్టు there is no connection between the words. Somewhere he should have linked it up. I don't know. It's okay. I said no, you'll touch and run away. Each of this is one subject. OB by itself is a subject. Emotional intelligence is a subject. Change management is a subject. Strategic leadership is a subject. And here let me tell you the complete subject. How should I tell you only the definition you tell me? It's very tough. Anyway, first of all, I need to tell you who is a leader. Students, who is a leader? The one who acts, the one who directs, the one who empowers, and the one who reflects. We call him as a leader. Leader is not a designation. Next word, leadership. Leadership is a process of influence. Write down. Leadership is a process of influence. It's a process of influence. Influence ante enti malli? It's an ability. Write down the definition of influence also. Ability to create some changes in others' environment. Ability to create some changes in others' environment. Is called as influence. Next word, power. Power. To manage influence is power. To manage influence is power. Done? I'll tell you a small example, then I'll come back to strategic leadership. Influence, I said, it's a process of making some changes in others' environment. There are two fellows, A and B. A says something to B and B in return says something to A. You find some changes in the behavior of both of them. It's a process of making some changes in the behavior of others. We call it as influence. And to manage that influence is called as power. How do you do that? It's not only by words. See a simple example. What are the different types of power? You clear this group 2, I'll get you a bike. So what will, not me, your father will say. Okay. So the concept of power, with that thing motivating, there'll be some changes in the behavior of students. Ante here, otherwise you would have not passed. Just because of reward, there's a change in the person's behavior. We call it as reward power. I'll say if you don't write, I'll throw you out of the class. Then you'll start writing. Cursive fear. Cursive power. Threat, fear. Cursive power. Reward power. Legitimate power. Ante, what is legitimate? Legalized power. Teacher, student, elder, younger, boss, subordinate, parent, children. వాళ్ళు పెద్దవాళ్ళు చెప్తే వినాలి. Legalized, legitimate power. There is something called as word power. What is word power? అదే మాట అంటే ఏంటి? Example, counseling, teaching, counseling sessions you would have seen, psychological counseling session, or like, word power. Technical power, expertise. Then there is something called as referral power also. Have you heard about it? References. I'm a son of so and so person. Ante some tag references they give. Referral power. There are various forms of power, right? Now what is required for us is, I said leadership is a process of influence. I said leader antenemo the one who does all this. Leadership, it is a process. Can you name few leaders? KCR, Revant, Hitler. That's all. God say na. Okay. Dhoni, etc. You are not telling. I have written few of the words which struck my mind. What was the question I asked you? Name few leaders. Then why are we tying horse and donkey to one rope? There people are different. Some are good, some are bad, but still we are calling them as leaders. Why? Influence. Leadership is the process of influence. Some of them influenced you positively, some of them influenced you negatively. So what is leadership now? It's a process of influence. Amma. Ippudu definition ki randi. What is strategic leadership? It's all about how effectively people influence anochu or manage a company strategy, making process to create competitive advantage. Strategic leadership has that ability to influence the people to manage or to build competitive advantage. చాలు ఇంకా దీంతో డెఫినేషన్ ఒక్కటి వస్తే చాలు. Remaining and all you can easily make out on your own. Strategic leaders must strive towards maximizing shareholders' value by balancing profit growth and profitability of organization. Strategic leader is seen as an individual upon whom the strategy development or change are seen or to be dependent on. ఇట్లా తిన్నా ఒకటే. Strategic leadership is all about the process of influencing the organizational member to build competitive advantage. Okay, that is strategic leadership. ఇక్కడ ఒక్క డెఫినేషన్ ఒక్కటి చాలు. చూసారా ఎంత కష్టమో ఇది. ఆ లెవెల్కి తీసుకెళ్లాలంటే ఏబీసీ చెప్పాలి, షార్ట్లో కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్పాలి, అండ్ ఐ షుడ్ గివ్ దట్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ టు యూ టు మేక్ ఎ డెఫినేషన్ ఆన్ యువర్ ఓన్. బట్ స్టూడెంట్స్, ఐ డోంట్ నో వెదర్ యు ఆర్ నోటింగ్ డౌన్ and or not. If you are not noting down, the only thing is whatever definition is there you have to mug up. But if you learn, need not to mug up. Easily also you can write. What are the key characteristics of a strategic leader? He should be visionary. He should be a good communicator. He should be committed. He should be good at networking, not LAN, MAN, WAN and all. Social networking, ante people connections. Should empower the follower to create leadership organization. Sir, ఇవన్నీ నేను మతికి పెట్టుకోలేను. The one who leads, the one who encourages, the one who acts, the one who directs, the one who empowers and the one who reflects. These are all the key characteristics of a leader. ఇవన్నీ వర్డ్స్ కలిపితే కూడా మళ్ళీ లీడర్. సింపుల్. Understood? Next one. What is emotional intelligence? Simply they are called as, they are bundle of psychological attributes. Here this fellow's name Goleman, you have to remember. What is this emotional intelligence? Why is it getting prominence? First let me tell you, then we'll work out on the topic. Along with your physical body, we carry the mental body, not that mental, mind also to the workplace. So what? How does it impact? Now let us take a small example. Like assume that previous class you attended. Okay, let us assume that first session we handled, I gave you a break. First session there was nothing preoccupied, you listened well, everything went on well, you understood. In the break, let us say you picked up some argument with somebody, with your friend. And since you are getting late, so you came and sat. You stopped that activity there and you came and sat. Post break, you will not focus. You will just physically stare at me. Mentally, you will be thinking about, what did I say? Why did that fellow react? Though that activity got ended, still your mind will be thinking about it only. So the example which I said, along with your physical body, you carry the mental body also to the workplace. Here we are talking about productivity, employee productivity. If that fellow, like in a class you are supposed to listen. Physically you are here but not mentally. Then that will not help us. That will not help us, right? So mentally also you should be present. So what companies are doing now is, they don't want people who are toppers, gold medals, toppers and all. They don't want something people who are in high IQ level. They want people who are in EI. Social coefficient antar danne, or emotional coefficient. Social coefficient, sorry, it's all about relation building. Emotional coefficient, sorry. Emotional coefficient is all about knowing. When I say emotional intelligence, there are two things it talks, students. One is about self, others. Okay, or self and social kuda anochu. Self and social coefficient. Emotional coefficient has self coefficient and or individual, not IQ అని రాయలేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఇంటలెక్చువల్ కోఫిషియంట్ రాస్తారనుకోండి అసలుకే మోసం వస్తుంది. ఇండివిజువల్ కోఫిషియంట్ ఆర్ సెల్ఫ్ కోఫిషియంట్ అని రాసుకోండి. సోషల్ కోఫిషియంట్, రిలేషన్షిప్ కోఫిషియంట్. సో ఎమోషనల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్లో వాట్ డు వి టాక్? First of all, you should know what you are, knowing something about self. నాకు ఇప్పుడు ఆకలేస్తుందా, నాకు దప్పికేస్తుందా, నాకు మూడు ఉందా, మూడు లేదా, ఆల్ దట్ ఈస్ సెల్ఫ్ అవేర్నెస్, సెల్ఫ్ రెగ్యులేషన్, సెల్ఫ్ మోటివేషన్, ఆల్ దట్ ఈస్ ఇక్కటి వరకు అన్ని సెల్ఫ్ ఇండివిజువల్ కోఫిషియంట్. ఓకే, నాట్ ఇంటలెక్చువల్, ఇండివిజువల్ సెల్ఫ్. ఇక్కడ వాడు మిస్ చేశాడు సెల్ఫ్, ఇది సెల్ఫ్ మోటివేషన్. ది రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ ఆర్ సోషల్ కోఫిషియంట్. సోషల్ అంటే అదర్స్, ఎంపతి, అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ అదర్స్ ప్రాస్పెక్టివ్, సోషల్. బీయింగ్ ఇన్ వన్ షూ అంటాం. ఎంపతి ఈస్ బీయింగ్ ఇన్ వన్ షూ అంటే అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ అదర్స్ ప్రాస్పెక్టివ్, అదర్స్ యాంగిల్. టుడే విల్ హ్యావ్ క్లాస్ టిల్ 4 o'clock. మీరేం సార్ మీరు చెప్తారు, స్టూడెంట్ లాగా ఆలోచించండి అంటారు చూసారా, దాన్ని ఎంపతి. సోషల్ స్కిల్, how you become friendly with others, how you interact and react with others, that is what it talks about. Students, here this is very very important. Chudandi, what is emotional intelligence? A bundle of psychological attributes. Second, వీడి పేరు Goleman. What are the elements? Only 2 elements, individual and social. Individual lo self awareness, self motivation, all that. సోషల్లో ఎంపతి అండ్ ఇంటర్పర్సనల్ స్కిల్స్ అన్నా అనొచ్చు, సోషల్ స్కిల్స్ అన్నా అనొచ్చు, రిలేషనల్ స్కిల్స్ అన్నా పర్వాలేదు. ఓకే, దిస్ టర్మ్స్ యూ రిమెంబర్, బికాస్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఎమోషనల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్, ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎమోషనల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ క్యాన్ బి ఏ క్వశ్చన్ ఫర్ 4 marks again. Why is it important? Just now I said it is required because today, along with physical body, you carry the mental body also to the workplace. So people, if they are knowing about it, they'll be more confident. They know how to act and how to react. You can do a better job. That is the reason this is required, emotional intelligence. Ikkada maximum definition, elements, and why it is required. If he has already covered elements in the last attempt, he'll ask why is it important, right? The next one, again, here I want your maximum concentration. Organizational change. There are 3 C's which we were talking about. You remember? What are they? Customer, competition. These 3 words you remember. Again and again I'll be asking. 3 C's of business are change, customer, competition. Next topic lo I'll explore on it. ఎందుకంటే too much of basics ఇక్కడ పెట్టాను అనుకోండి, this unit itself is very bigger unit. That's the reason I have shifted it to the next unit. There I'll talk about how these 3 C's are important for business. But as of now, one among this element is change. One among this element is change. There's nothing permanent on this earth, only change is permanent. Right? And what is change? New form of behavior is called as change. Change in an organization can be of 2 types. Internal, external. What are internal changes? Changes which happens within the company. External changes. Internal changes are also called as what changes? Micro. Why? It affects only your company, your organization. External, I call them as macro changes. What are the examples of changes? Pestle. Political, economical, social, technological, general forces changes are that. What are the examples of organizational change? Here you can categorize them what I said. Internal changes, external changes. Internal changes, person changes, process changes, machinery changes, policy changes. External, social, political, legal, economical, ecological, ఇలా రాసేయండి చాలు. Then, whenever there is a change, what is required, students? Charles Darwin, you know, in your biology classes, you would have said survival of, ante enti? Those who are fit enough will only survive. Ante Hrithik Roshan, Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan batukutada? No. Those who are fit enough, Charles Darwin says, those who are fit enough will dominate and they'll have a good life. But today, survival of the fittest kaadu. It is fastest. Those who are fast enough in terms of change will only survive. Remaining and all will flood. So as a manager or as a CMA, we should be on par with the change. We should run along with the change. And one of the objective of strategic management was to cope up with change. Have you understood? So whenever there's a change, if you are changing along with it, we call it as being in pace with the change, ante on par with the change. So ee change avvadaniki there are two different approaches we say. One is planned approach, abrupt, unplanned and kuda anochu. Planned, and whenever there's a change you have to change, no, for which you can have a planned approach, unplanned approach. Planned approach is a systematic approach. You know well in advance and it is multiple stepped process. Unplanned, ఏ తోస్తది చేయడం. Unplanned, abrupt, we don't talk about this. Planned change approach లో వేరియస్ మోడల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఇదే ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ మాకు పిల్లలకి, చేంజ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ అండ్ ఆర్గనైజేషనల్ డెవలప్మెంట్. అండ్ how beautifully he brought all that into one paragraph, you see. It's very challenging. It's very challenging, but whatever it is, we have to take it. First, oka abbreviation teeskondi, OCM, Organizational Change Management. Second, నేమ్స్. నేమ్స్ ఒక సపరేట్గా ఉంది కదా ఓఎంలో, నేమ్స్, ఫెలోస్ నేమ్స్. దేర్ దిస్ వన్ కోటర్, ఇదంతా రాసుకోండి. కోటర్, 8-step process for leading change. Cotter is a person's name. 8-step process leading to change. Tarvata, Kurt Lewin, put a dash, change model. William Bridges, transition model. Kurt Lewin, out of this Kurt Lewin star mark chudandi, మిగతావి నేర్చుకుంటారో లేదో మీ ఇష్టం, కానీ Kurt Lewin for sure you need to study. Kurt Lewin, this is change model. Done? Next one, students, ADKR, ఈ వర్డ్ ఫుల్ ఫామ్. A అంటే అవేర్నెస్, D అంటే డిజైర్, K అంటే నాలెడ్జ్, ఎబిలిటీస్, రీఇన్ఫోర్స్మెంట్. అడ్కర్, ADKAR అబ్రివేషన్లో. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ కొన్ని బేసిక్స్ చెప్పి అక్కడికి వెళ్తా, లేకుంటే అంత సోదిలాగానే ఉంటుంది ఇది. Assume that you have a small business of shoe manufacturing, right? And assume that that business is of 50 crores now, 50 crores business, right? And this is what your present status, present status of the company. It is 50 crores company. What would be your expectation? If I say what is your vision? Ante down the line after 2 years or 10 years or whatever. Okay, 5 years. What is that you want your company to be? Danne vision antam. So what you want to be? Sorry. To be how many crores? 50 lo unnao sir. 5 years 100 crores. Paper మీద ఏమని రాయొచ్చు? What is this situation? What is this situation? Desired. Or why did I write with dotted line? Now he said 1000. But if somebody says 2000 in one can in takkona 2500 entered. So it is all dotted. It is thick line. Why? But that's a reality which will not change. Expected desired is always flexible, which may keep on changing. Now first question, what makes your present status for a company? No. Okay. Next unit lo we'll be talking about a topic on SWOT. Winner eppadana? Oh, good. Oh, good. Something you know. For those who don't know, I'll teach again in the next topic, but just a beginning here. SWOT. As a part of our analysis, we learn strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Strengths are what? They are inherent capabilities. Ante within us, which are positive or negative strengths. So they help us in gaining competitive advantages. Weaknesses, again, they are internal only, but they are negative, inherent limitation. So opportunities, they come by comparison, comparing you with others. But opportunity is positive, threats are negative. This two, I am calling it as what forces? These two are called as, why? They come by only comparison. So I am calling them as external. Ippudu manamu we are learning a subject of strategic management, no? You should optimize. Ante you should maximize some of them, you should minimize some of them. What will you maximize? Only all positive things you should maximize. Kada? All negative things you should minimize. So again we should reclassify them. All positive into one because we need to maximize. All negatives we need to minimize. ఇప్పుడు వీ రెండిటికి ఒక వర్డ్ ఇస్తాను చూడండి. దిస్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రిమెంబర్. దీన్ని డ్రైవింగ్ ఫోర్స్ అనాలి. వాట్ షుడ్ యూ కాల్? డ్రైవింగ్ ఫోర్స్. దెర్ ఆర్ టూ థింగ్స్ విచ్ ఈస్ మేకింగ్ మై కంపెనీ టు గో అప్. వన్ ఈజ్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్, ది అదర్ ఈజ్ ఐ షుడ్ గెట్ అన్ ఆపర్చునిటీ టు గ్రో. కదా? సో యువర్ ఆన్సర్ హియర్ వాజ్ వాట్ ఫోర్స్? మళ్ళీ డ్రైవింగ్ ఫోర్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? స్ట్రెంగ్త్స్ అండ్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ విచ్ ఆర్ పాజిటివ్, which makes your company to become 500, 1000, 2000, 10,000 crores, whatever it is. What will make your strengths will strengthen them to be on the top. Your opportunities, again you should get an opportunity to excel, otherwise you will not grow. Right? Like a coin has two sides. There is one force which is pushing you up. There's again a villain who is pushing you down. Who are those villains? Your weaknesses and your threats. Here I am giving a word, remember, restraining forces. What are restraining forces now? Negative forces. What do? They'll not allow you. You have seen Takeshi Castle, no? Right? Pogo channel. There'll be certain restraining forces. Patti nillulak tostuntadu vadu. Why? You should not attain the goal, desired situation. These forces we call them as restraining forces. What are they? Weaknesses and threats. Understood? Now, students, see how easily you will connect up now. You know what are driving and restraining forces. Now, your job is, just now I said planned change approach, right? Your journey from present state, the journey has started here, should reach to this stage called desired state. Present state, desired state. So, will you abruptly do whatever you want? It's not abrupt change. It's not unplanned change. It's a planned change. So, to move from present status to desired status, we have many models, change management models and vatne. That some of them are being given out here. Is this small list. Have you understood? So what are these models called as now? Planned change models. Understood? These are all the various views of how to manage change. Elanti change to move from present state to desired state. It is guidance. If I ask you, how should I go from this stage to that stage? He'll formulate one model, he'll formulate one model, he'll formulate one model. A simple example. Assume that you all clear and somebody comes and asks you, how to clear this group 2? All of them will not say the same answer. Even if they say study, you will pass. There also the degree of study also is varying from each one of you. Right? So that is how there are different models of change. What is required here is this terminology you have to rehearse by heart, because here you cannot change. You cannot write on your own. That is where the real challenge is. And out of this, I'll tell you which one you should focus more, which one you should learn, because out of these models, there can be a short question, there can be a long question, vice versa. So all of them, here I cannot even guess what he'll ask. You have to remember, but some of them I can tell which is more important, right? So first of all, more important word is Kurt-Lewin's change model. Very, very important. That's a basic model. So I'll teach you this for sure first. It can come up as a long question. So what are these change models? First one, Kurt-Lewin change model. Kurt-Lewin, this was a guy who gave this, so we call it as Kurt-Lewin's change model. He talks about change in only 3 steps. First the unfreezing, last the refreezing, middle the moving or changing. Okay? The sub-classification, if you remember, it's okay. Otherwise, only 3 words are okay. Unfreezing, moving, changing, and refreezing. Okay, what are they? I'll tell you. I'll pick up a small example. Have you seen the ice cubes in refrigerator? Standard size, right? Shapes, size. From years onwards, you got fed up because that fellow gives you a ready-made tray for all of them with the same shape. Now, you got fed up. You wanted to change. You wanted it in a star shape now. Whenever we wanted to change is not welcomed by all. So there are certain conditions, restrictions, prohibitions. They say, already I made ice cubes, no? With that only you change now. So first of all, what should I do? If there is no other water, this ice cubes, existing ice cubes, I need to melt. Convert them from solid form to liquid form. Okay, I made. What next? I should get a new mold tray. After converting from solid, it was a rectangular shape. Once you converted into liquid, it has no shape now. If I take in a bottle, it will be a bottle shape. If I take in a glass, it will be a glass shape. So from full shape, we got to no shape. Then you got a tray, mold we say, with a star shape or whatever shape you wanted. A fresh structure. Then I poured the water into it. Okay. So first what is required? I'll write here 1, 2, 3, 4. First, identifying the tray. Right? Compliance. Compliance means pour the water in it. Internalization, the water which didn't had any shape, after pouring it into the mold it has got a star shape. Last one, institutionalization. లేదు ఇది టఫ్ వర్డ్. జనరలైజేషన్. ఇన్స్టిట్యూషనలైజేషన్ ఆర్ జనరలైజేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ బికమ్స్ ఎ పార్ట్ అండ్ పార్షియల్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, some activity what you are doing from so many days, even by you get habituated of doing it. Even by closing your eyes you will do it. What is that activity where every one of us got PhD in it? Just see, close your eyes, directly the hand goes to the mouth. We are masters in it, right? So that is called as generalization, institutionalization, right? So this 4 steps comes. Ikkada optional chudandi, idi compulsory అని ఏం లేదు. 4 words, if you remember it's okay, otherwise forget about it. Write only 3 words: unfreezing, moving. ఎందుకంటే వాడు ఇవ్వడం కూడా 3 ఇచ్చాడు అక్కడ. సో unfreezing, changing or moving, refreeze. Okay, so identification, compliance, internalization, institutionalization. So after refreezing it, refreezing ante changed form of behavior. Understood? So from old shape now we are going to new shape. ఇప్పుడు ఈ మోడల్ని మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే, దిస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ which I was talking on a graph, yeah, to move from present status to desired status, unfreeze, move or change, then refreeze. ఇక్కడ ఫిట్ చేస్తాం దాన్ని తెచ్చి. సో this fellow said, Kurt Levin's change model talks about unfreezing, changing, refreezing. 3-stepped process. వీడేం చెప్పాడంటే కోటర్, no, it cannot be 3 steps. It is 8-stepped process. First you create, then you build, then you form, enlist, enable, generate, sustain, institute. ఈ వర్డ్స్ నేర్చుకోవాలని. 8 words. It is 8-stepped process. McKinsey, this again we will be talking about in control, strategic controls lo. There I'll explain. They used something called as 7S framework. Ikkada 7 S's are style, skill, system, structure, staff, strategies, shared values. In this we can classify them as, soft elements, hard elements. Maybe the strategic control lo I'll teach, but as of now McKinsey model 7S framework is one. Adker model, this fellow says first you need to create awareness, then you should create the desire in the individual, then give some information and increase their knowledge. What I'm doing now is Adker model only. We are trying to create an awareness about the subject, then I am making you to learn, desire, give the knowledge and give that ability so that you can make your own answer in the exam. That is called as ability and finally leads to reinforcement. Beyond motivation is called as reinforcement. There's a Kubler-Ross model. First, existing situation will give you a shock. Then you will be annoyed, anger. Then people will bargain, depression, and finally you don't want to continue with that depression, so you incline to change. That is called as acceptance. Actually ide negative model antaru, but let us not go into depth. Kubler model, Ross model, very rare cases he'll ask. Satir change model, late status quo, resistance, chaos, integration, new status quo. Idi kuda negative model. Late status quo ante the present status. Resistance ante saying no to change. Chaos, that will lead to chaos. Then integration and new status quo. There is something called as a William Bridge. He says ending stage, that is unfreezing, neutral zone, new beginning stage. So out of this, let me tell you what you should remember. First ఇవన్నీ తోడిపేస్తాను. First then I'll tell you. లిస్ట్ ఎనీ 3 మోడల్స్ అని కూడా అడగొచ్చు ఒక్కొక్కసారి 7 మార్క్స్కి. అదర్వైజ్ దిస్ Kurt Levin's change model, if he's asking only for 3 marks, 4 marks, don't go in depth. Don't write whatever I have explained. That explanation was for your explanation. Akkada unnecessary time waste avutundi. There's no harm. People will, the moment you draw this, people will understand that you are 100% perfect in the topic. Right? If you can draw, but only problem is again you need to start your journey with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, their categorization. Ivanni could explain cheyalante it will take a lot of time. It is purely your wish. But out of these total models, short, first Kurt Lewin. Second, Kotter's model. Right? Third, Adkar model. Sorry. Fourth, McKenzie model. Right? Kubler-Ross model, Satir change model, William Bridge transition model, optional. ఎందుకంటే లిస్ట్ ఎనీ 3 మోడల్స్, ఎనీ 2 మోడల్స్ ఆఫ్ యువర్ చాయిస్ అంటాడు. బికాస్ యూ కెనాట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ ద ఫెలో టు లెర్న్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. సో ఈ 4 మోడల్స్ ఫర్ ష్యూర్ వీ నీడ్ టు లెర్న్. ఓకే, finally students, go back to this abbreviations ACMP. What is this ACMP? It's actually an Association of Professional Change Management. Association for Professional Change Management. What is this? Actually, there's a small association. If you want to manage this change, I said there are many models, no, planned change models. Ala oka association undi. They give you the how to manage this change in a professional manner. They have recommended few steps. These steps kuda important chudandi. They say first you evaluate the change impact, and evaluate the readiness. Means how far are you ready to manage the change? Formulate the strategy. What you can do, students? Evaluate, formulate, develop, execute, close. In a short form, you can use these terms also. Right? Evaluate first, formulate next, develop, execute, and after execution, closing. Right? In a short words, you can remember this strategies or steps. Done? Right, one more topic and then we'll close. Right, just listen students. Just now in my previous topic I said conversion of your inputs to output, and this conversion we call it as process. And what is this whole thing called as? We call it as management. What is management all about? Conversion of your inputs to outputs. Just we said in a simple sentence, but is it so easy to convert inputs to output? No. What it requires to convert inputs to output? Two things are required. What are they? you need to be smart enough. Second, cash. What does this smartness talks about? It's not that you should look like Aishwarya Rai or Abhishek Bachchan. No. It talks about an acronym. Being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, tactful or time bound. Okay, ఇది కూడా రాసుకోండి. Being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, relevant, time bound, tactful. Whatever you are doing, you should be specific and it should be measurable. 10 గంటలు చదివానని కాదు, ఎంత చదివారో ఎంత నేర్చుకున్నారు, that is more important. And whatever you are doing, you should be specific. You should be clear of what you are doing. It should be attainable. Or attitude also, if you write also, is correct. Relevant or resourceful. It should be relevant. All the efforts should be relevant. It should be resourceful. Finally, it should be tactful and timely. Whatever your preparation, you should do before exams but not after exams, right? It should be tactful. It should be timely. That is what smartness talks about. No hard work. Corporate wants today smart work. Smart work ante ide smartness. ఇంకొక వర్డ్ ఉంది, అది కూడా రాసుకోండి. దెన్ ఫాస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్. ఎఫ్ అంటే frequently discussed, A ambitious, S ante specific, T ante transparent. Frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, transparent. Fast framework antaru danni. Frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, transparent. Okay. And what is cash? Knowledge, attitude, skills, habit. Attitude, skills, ikkada center lo H. Habit. A union of all this will lead to habit. Idi depth lo ledu kabatti I am skipping this word. Cash, right? KASH, not CASH, cash. Knowledge undali, attitude or ability, skills. A union of these three will lead to habit. Habit ante general style of interacting with the world is called as habit. Okay. Now what are this? Actually, what is this smartness and what is the framework? See, just now, like in our previous topic, we said goals. Goals are purpose. Purpose of any organization to achieve it. So what we have to do it is, we have to link individual goals with organizational goals. Every employee will have their individual growth. She wants to have a good money. She wants to make property. Like that, every person will have individual goals. To achieve these goals, you join an organization because all of you need money. So company also wants money, more money. But what I should do? A rope example. A rope is made with lot of fibers, right? So you are trying to intertwine individual goals with organizational goals. You are trying to unite your individual goals. So you grow, you make the company also to grow. That is what we are trying to do. To make that happen, they say the objectives should be smart. And they use a smart framework, a fast framework. What does it mean? See, it's an acronym, as I said. Fast framework ante frequently discussed. Why it should be frequently discussed? So that you can get, it gives a scope for you to talk, highlight and tell which area you are strong, which area you are weak, so that it is giving you a scope for improvement. Then it should be ambitious because it promotes or motivates you to do something good. And finally, it need to be specific. Ante whatever you are supposed to achieve, those need to be identified. And finally, no pressure. It should be no cheating, no manipulation. It should be ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్. దీన్నే ఫాస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ అంటారు. ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ యాక్రోనిమ్ దిస్ 2 మే 1 మార్క్ వచ్చే క్వశ్చన్ లైక్ ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది. వన్ అమంగ్ దిస్ ఐదర్ స్మార్ట్నెస్ ఫస్ట్ ఓట్, బట్ బీ ప్రిపేర్డ్ విత్ యువర్ ఫాస్ట్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ ఆల్సో. ఓకే, so I think we'll stop it here because the next model is very important model. I don't want to compromise on it. Balanced scorecard approach we'll talk about in our next class. On there are different types of objectives. Performance objectives ikkad nunche the topic start avutundi, so that's the reason I'm abruptly stopping here. Next class only this is pending, and one more small topic on EVA driven responsibility accounting. Here only 1 mark or no mark, but still it's a part of the system, so we'll cover. Another 10 or 15 minutes you should be able to finish, but the problem is now you have come to a zone of exhaust. So I don't want to trouble you because I cannot take a risk on this. This can be a question for long again. And the other part is this topic again will get reflected in third group, fourth group kuda. So no compromise, we'll break. Next class on Sunday I'll cover this, then we'll go to study note number 9. Study note number 9 చాలా ఫాస్ట్గా అవుతుంది. ఎందుకో చూడండి. See, I'll just show you, then we'll break. What is analysis మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను. Internal analysis, external analysis, pestle analysis. So already అంటే some hint you have. So from here the journey will be very fast. Then ఇక్కడ కొన్ని కాన్సెప్ట్స్ నేను what I'm supposed to teach in first unit I'll teach here. What is business? What are the objectives of business? I was telling you know what are the 3 C's of change. అవి ఇక్కడ కొన్ని బేసిక్స్ చెప్తాను మళ్ళీ. Then what is input, output, ఇవి కూడా జస్ట్ ఒక ఇన్పుట్ అవుట్పుట్ ప్రాసెస్ అని క్లోజ్ చేశాను. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఇన్పుట్ అంటే మళ్ళీ డెప్త్లో చెప్పాలి, వాట్ ఈజ్ అవుట్పుట్ అంటే డెప్త్లో చెప్పాలి. దిస్ విల్ బీ హెల్ప్ఫుల్ ఫర్ అవర్ ఆపరేషన్స్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఆల్సో. సో ఐల్ టీచ్ యూ దేర్. What is internal environment, what is external environment, what is pestle analysis, you know, this will cover. Value chain analysis, Michaely-Porter. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Some examples or activities on it. Then this unit Sunday, don't miss out. That's all. 9 pages only. Sunday class for sure it is very important. ఇదేంటంటే you cannot just study on your own. Okay, don't miss out. Today's class was okay because some of these basics are running notes చూసినా అర్థమవుతుంది, కానీ స్టడీ నోట్ నెంబర్ 9 don't take a risk. 10, 11 మీ చాయిస్, it's very easy. 11 అయితే only it's a study only. I study, you study, that's it. It talks about all about digital technology. What is machine learning, what is in artificial intelligence. It will be all goody to know. Everybody knows everything. It's a little updation. అంటే ఎక్కడ వాడతాం దీన్ని, అదంటే ఏంటి, లిటిల్ updation on it is okay. Okay, we'll stop here for today.